A citizen's charter is a document of commitments made by a government agency to the citizens in respect of the services that are being provided to them. So basically, it empowers the citizens to demand the committed standards of services. However, it is not legally enforceable and hence non justiciable. See, its objective is to build a bridge between citizen and administration and to streamline administration with the needs and the concerns of the citizens. Citizens all over the world have become conscious of their rights as customers and services that are provided to them by the public organization. They have become more assertive in receiving the quality and timely services. And they expect the government agencies to deliver goods and services to them at their hour of need rather than at the convenience of the government agencies. They pay for the services as demanded by the public organizations and in the process rightly demand for those services. But it was not the case in the past. Such change was the direct result of the customer focused approach of private organizations, which in turn influenced the public organization in changing the work environment, its structures and processes for serving the citizens better. So, such was the impact of citizen focused activities of the government that the public officials have to some extent change their attitudes towards citizens as buyers and customers of the government services received at some cost. So in the past, the citizen was expected to pay a fee to the government agencies and receive services at the will of the government agencies. Citizens has no option but to bear the layman attitude of the bureaucratic or the government officials, irrespective of the citizen need. So at the same time, the services provided by the government were also of poor quality. So the whims and the fancies of the public officials determined the delivery of services to the people in India. And to offset such inconvenience to people, Citizens' Charter came into existence, which are expected to change such whimsical functioning of the public officials and the public organizations. A citizens' charter is basically a document that represents an effort by public agencies to focus on citizen needs. So the idea behind citizens' charter is transparency in all their activities, particularly the activities that lead to provide certain services to citizens. So the commitment is in respect of standards of quality and services to be provided to citizens. And these standards are fixed from the perspective of implying that the citizen should be aware within what time frame the citizen is going to receive the particular services. So basically, the charter is nothing but a code of conduct on the part of public officials imposed by themselves to provide services on a better note to citizens. They assume that it is their moral dimension of civil service accountability and hence do not have any legal binding on public officials, but it act as a guide in discharging their duties in the capacity of public servants. They are also voluntary in nature and do not impose any legal obligations on public officials. And through these charters, public officials make commitment to citizens for providing better services. And the sanction behind the citizen charter is moral and nothing else. Moreover, the commitment imposed by citizens charter are not limited only to the public officials, but to the charter impose certain obligations on citizens as well, who approach public offices as recipients of certain services. So the charters are a commitment on the part of both the public officials as well as the citizens. So the commitment on the part of citizens and also public organization towards each other necessitates certain changes in the attitude of public servants and the citizen as well, which also necessitates certain changes in the administrative process towards increasing efficiency of public delivery system. So the concept of Citizens Charter was first articulated and implemented in the United Kingdom by the Conservative government of John Major in 1991 as a national program with a simple aim to continuously improve upon the quality of public services for the people of the country so that these services respond to the needs and wishes of the users. The program was relaunched in 1998 by the Labour government of the Tony Blair, which relabeled it as Service First. So the six principles of the Citizens Charter movement as originally framed were quality, choice, standards, value, accountability and transparency. So quality in improving the quality of services to the citizens, choice for the users wherever possible, and standards specifying what to expect within a time frame and how to act if standards are not met, and value for the taxpayers money, accountability of the service provider, individual as well as the organization, and transparency in rules, procedures, schemes and grievances redressal. Six principles were later elaborated by the Labour government as the following 9 principles of the service delivery system, which are listed below. See, in 1996, the Centre organized a conference on Chief Secretaries of States and the Union Territories on effective and responsive administration. The conference recommended the adoption of Citizens Charter for all public services organizations, and this recommendation was approved by the Centre, states as well as the Union Territories in the Conference of Chief Ministers held in 1997. And since 1997, when the scheme was introduced in India, the various ministries, departments, directorates and other agencies of the central government, state government and the union territory administrators have formulated a number of citizens charter. And a citizen charter in India has the following components: a vision and mission statement of the organization, details of the business transacted by the organization, details of citizens or the clients, a statement of services including standards, quality, time frame, etc. provided to each citizens or client group separately, and how and where to get the services from. Details of grievances, redressal mechanisms and how to access it, and expectations from the citizens or from the clients. The Citizens Charter as a tool for empowering the public are being taken forward through the following initiatives in India. The first initiative is of Citizens Charter in all central ministries and their departments, and the second is of Citizens Charter in all states and union territories. Both were started in 1997, and these two initiative progress is reflected in the increase in the number of citizens charter that are listed on a special portal by the government. From 2010 onwards, the citizen charter of all central ministries and departments are uploaded on their websites, and all central ministries and departments have also been requested to include information about their citizens charter in their annual reports. The third initiative is for making Citizens Charter more dynamic through the Sevottam framework for bringing excellence in service delivery through continuous improvement. Here, the Citizens Charter, as one of the three components of Sevottam, is not only being created and reviewed but is being linked to the service delivery process of ministry and department concerned. The fourth initiative for Citizens Charter, as per the 12th report of the Second Administrative Reforms Commission in its 12th report entitled Citizen-Centric Administration, the Heart of Governance, has recommended for making Citizens Charter more effective as a document for interacting with citizens. This recommendation has been accepted by the Government of India, and all central ministries and departments have been requested to review their Citizens Charter to make them more effective as a tool for interacting with the citizens. The fifth initiative is of creating state departments charter through the 12th month pilot projects. From 2008 to 2010, Sevottam pilot projects were implemented in 4 states in 4 different sectors, and these were the states of Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Orissa. So in Himachal Pradesh, a new citizens charter with quality standards has been drafted for service delivered by Water Supplies and Sanitation Unit of Municipal Corporation Simla. In Karnataka, a new citizens charter has been created for the Department of Women and Child Development for its service delivery under the central scheme of integrated child development services through Anganwadi and centers at the village level. In Madhya Pradesh, a citizens charter has been created with service standard for the Public Health and Family Welfare Department, and in Orissa, for the government of the Orissa, the citizens charter has been created for the food supplies and consumer welfare department. It also includes service delivery system to the Gram Panchayat level. Let's discuss in detail the Sevottam model. So the citizen charter is one of the three modules, or we can say the component of the Sevottam model, and the other two being the public grievance redressal and service delivery capability. So Sevottam is a service delivery excellence model which provides an assessment improvement framework to bring about excellence in public service delivery. See, the term Sevottam is formed by joining two Hindi words Seva and Uttam, meaning service and excellence respectively. So the first component of the model requires effective citizens charter implementation, thereby opening up a channel for receiving citizens' input into the way in which organization determines service delivery requirements. Citizen Charter publicly declare that the information on citizens' entitlements, thereby making them better informed and hence empowering them to demand better services from the government. The second component of the model, the public grievance redress, requires a good grievance redressal system operating in a manner that leaves the citizen more satisfied with how the organizational responds to complaints or grievances irrespective of the final decisions. The third component of the model, service delivery capability, postulates that an organization can have an excellent performance in service delivery only if it is efficiently managing the key ingredients for good service delivery and building its own capacity to continuously improve upon service delivery system.